Hot take. Is this whole rap beef a version of the Drake stimulus package?
Is this rap beef?
Yeah.
Between him and Kendrick.
Yeah, it is.
Is this Kendrick getting his Drake stimulus?
Yeah, it is.
It's a part of it. It adds.
It
But
is.
we ain't going to talk about that. We're back on the Mayor's Office podcast. Last episode, you guys thought I was dead. I'm back up. My energy's high. I'm excited. We have OVO Mall. Now we have PG Lang Mayor. I'm here. I'm not on Mall level, though. That nigga was going crazy, bro. Mall, relax. Take a breath, bro. Chill out.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
That was wild. That was wild. And hopefully a few days have passed and he's calmed the fuck down.
No.
Mall, academics, all you niggas, relax, chill out. Listen, you guys can have who you like, who you appreciate. That's great. The last few episodes, niggas were on my line. Yo, Ralph, you're supporting Kendrick. You're rocking with your guy. I appreciate that. Adriel sounds like he's rocking with Drake right now. Chris is sounding like a Drake guy. That's cool. But at the end of the day, you need to have objective opinions. Very important to have objective opinions and not just yell on the mic for no fucking reason.
Yeah, we know who those people are.
Come on,
Most
man.
people. Before we get into the nitty gritty, I think we gotta say what this episode is for. Okay. Usually, we dedicate this episode to a player who wears a number of the name of the episode, but I feel like there's a double entendre here that we can dedicate this episode to Kendrick. 54-54. I feel like that's a good fit right there. And
I'll let you get that little shot in.
and he just took a dub. And I think this is a historical moment.
Yeah.
This episode is dedicated to Kendrick.
All right, I'm allowed that.
Kendrick inspired me to get some bars off. What do you want me to do?
All right, I'll give you that one. Because it's going to be a Kendrick Drake heavy episode. So I'm going to allow that little shot on my guy because he's a little guy. I respect that. Episode 54 of the Mayor's Office podcast. You guys already know what it is, what you're tuned into, what you're listening to, and what you're experiencing. And I want to let you guys know that I am Ralph, a.k.a. the Mayor, a.k.a. the Last Airbender, a.k.a. PG Lang Mayor. And I don't do this podcast by myself. I got my two close friends with me, AdrielSmiley.com, Adriel Smiley Official, the owner of 1990s Studios, Chris Stacks Edwards in the cut. You already know what it is. And this episode 54, I want to wish everybody a good day, except the people that don't allow themselves to think objectively. Listen, guys, I wrote this down. Critical thinking is the ability to analyze facts objectively and then form a judgment. It is a form of emotional intelligence, which I feel like a lot of people lack.
Yes.
We all have a bias, but don't let that bias cloud you from the truth. And I want us to speak objectively today. How are you guys doing?
That's a loaded question at this point, honestly.
Loaded question.
Like, I think there's just been so much going on. I know, like, my weekend was just all over the place because of this little rap scuffle we got going on. So I don't know how y'all weekends were, because I feel like as a Toronto, fan,
Yes.
we took an L. We took 2 L's this weekend.
Yes.
So yeah, it's been a rough weekend all over.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna echo that. It's been a rough weekend for Toronto. I think we're down a couple right now. We need to get that back up, but I think we're starting off strong this week with the Mayor's Office podcast. Bringing some life back to the city.
Yes.
I'd like to say
It's what the city needs.
It's what the city needs.
Yeah. A united front on the podcast.
Yep.
That should be your new slogan.
A united front? Or we're what the city needs?
Yeah.
What the city
The Mayor's
needs.
Office podcast, what the city needs.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I don't mind that.
You guys, hashtag that. What the city needs, the Mayor's Office podcast. Listen, last weekend was very interesting. My weekend got ruined by rap beef.
Yep.
Adriel, his weekend was amazing due to him being on the streets.
Allegedly.
And Chris's weekend was ruined due to the Leafs. So beef, streets, Leafs. Crazy. And we're going to get into a little piece of each of it. Can I explain to you guys really quickly how my last weekend went?
Mm-hmm.
All right? Quick story time for everybody, okay? So, obviously, I'm a big fan of Kendrick Lamar.
Yes.
I listen to a lot of Drake.
Mhm.
I'm in Toronto, so I'm heavily into this rap beef. I've had so many discussions with multiple people, right?
Mhm.
So Kendrick drops Euphoria. Cool. Friday morning, he drops 616 in LA. I'm like, all right, I'm rocking with this. Calls out Academics. He's vibing on a nice Al Green sample. I believe it was Al Green sample. I could correct me if I'm wrong. So my day's going okay. I go throughout my day. Then in the evening,
Mhm.
Drake drops. Family Matters. He put the Instagram stories out. He said, caution, caution, caution. I'm on my phone a lot. I'm on TikTok. I'm
Mhm.
seeing Kai Cenat being told to stay on stream. I'm seeing Academics saying he's leaving a concert to go home in order to get back on stream. So now I'm excited. I'm seeing Drake. He posted the caution tape. He posted the Equalizer 2 clip. So I'm like, yo, something crazy's about to happen. Is he going to cook my goat? Is he going to curry my goat? Family Matters drops. I plan to go to sleep at 11 o'clock. Listeners, take note of the time. I plan to go to sleep at 11 o'clock. That was my entire plan for the night. I think Dallas was playing.
Yeah.
It was a nice little game. They smoked the Clippers. We're going to get into that. So I'm thinking my night's gonna end. Then Family Matters drops. And the way he started that verse, Adriel, I'm not gonna lie, I was shook.
Mhm.
When he said, nigga, I'll say whatever I want, I was shook. When he spun the G Unit chain, I was shook. Then the second verse came when he had bars for niggas.
Everybody.
He was going off, bro. That was the first time, because I was involved on the other side, I was like, yo, please stop, bro. I was like, yo, I hope he doesn't have more. Then the third verse came, going more at Kendrick, going more at Kendrick. Then the last bar came. Then the video, I'm watching the video, I'm seeing the Good Kid, Mad City van. He picked the wrong van, by the way. The Good Kid, Mad City van. He crushed the van. He had the video. He went to New Ho King off of the Euphoria line.
Big shout out New Ho King.
Big shout out New Ho King. They're the real winners in all this rap beef.
Facts. New Ho King and J. Cole, the two winners of this whole beef.
So I sat down and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I go on my phone. I start messaging people, calling people close to me. Shout outs to C4. Shout outs to Dario. Shout outs to Adriel Smiley. I called all of these people and I was just going back and forth just about, yo, what the fuck's going on? And you know what? That lasted all of 35 minutes. Then Meet the Grams came on. One of the biggest step-on tracks that I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Shout out to Uncle Alchemist was one of the most sinister beats that I've ever heard.
Yeah, that was a crazy beat.
And Kendrick just went to dissect the man's entire family. And don't get me wrong. A lot of time has passed since you guys will listen to this pod, but Family Matters is a fire track. It's one of the best diss tracks I ever heard. But the fact that Kendrick maneuvered and stepped on me with Meet the Grams, it caught me off guard. It caught the world off guard. And then the Twitter discourse, the TikTok discourse.
You were up.
So now I'm on the phone with niggas again. Mind you, I started this at 11. I want to go to bed at what time?
11.
Okay. Now it's about 12:30. I'm on the phone with niggas. Cool. I finally do everything I need to do. You know, all the discourse is done. I'm off of Twitter, off of TikTok, off the phone, right? And I live by myself. And I turn off all the lights to go to bed. And I get comfortable in my satin sheets. And as I laid in my satin sheets, my mind was racing and I decided to go back and listen to the song. It was 2:30. When I listened to that scary-ass horror song, I went to bed at 4 a.m.
Kept you up.
The shit kept me up. The anxiety that Kendrick ensued really kept me up. So I say all that to say, I don't want to continue into the other tracks because that's going to be another long story, but I want to ask you guys while we're here, was that the best weekend in hip-hop history?
Gotta be. Best depends on who you're asking, I think. There's some people who might be the worst weekend in hip-hop history.
Fair.
But if you're thinking as an objective hip-hop fan, I'll say this. It was the best until it wasn't. we'll talk about get to that later, but it was the best until it wasn't. But that excitement of like, I can't tell you how many songs I've listened to on Twitter, how many 8-minute videos I've played on Twitter attached to my car over the past few weeks. So just having that excitement of like, find the song, where is it? Let's play it. Like that has been so fun. Like that had to make you feel a little bit better about what happened the rest of the weekend to have that great hip hop weekend.
I'd like to say it would have. And it did. And it was leading into Saturday too,
Mhm.
Friday night, just like you. I was working when it happened. Saw Family Matters dropped. I was feeling it. I was playing it.
You reposted it.
I reposted it too soon.
Yeah.
OVO Chris.
Too
I saw
soon.
that and I was like, Chris, you bastard.
Bro, but I was on this Toronto over everything vibe this weekend with the Leafs playing.
Can't wrong you for that, bro.
You know,
and
like-
you said on the last episode, yo, you're a homer. You're going to rock with your city no
Yeah,
matter what. So I respect that.
Yeah.
But as like trying back to being objective, I was like, damn, we just got cooked. And going into Saturday where I'm just, Leaf centric, Toronto, I'm still like going I was golfing Saturday morning, throw on Family Matters again. I'm like, yo, this is a really good, this is a good track. Like there's a lot of good parts, beat switches, the beats are tight. But then just like what was said, yeah, I don't think it didn't compare to the bombs that were dropped.
It was the energy, because
Yeah.
I think that when we have all the songs as a whole now, and there's this storyline that Drake fed him that information, which I'm on the side of believing everybody until proven otherwise. So if I'm believing Drake, then a big part of that Meet the Grams record was fabricated, and that was a big reveal. But I think the energy of that record was the kind that was the boogeyman. The boogeyman we've all talked about. That energy on that record was the boogeyman.
Yeah.
And you talked about it in the past, like on our pod, was Kendrick wasn't battle tested, and he wasn't for all intents and purposes. We didn't know what the fuck to expect. I think this now showcases that, yo, you cannot really test this nigga. Same with Drake. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
That nigga's ready for war.
Yeah.
But Kendrick, I think the fact that he out-strategized the man, I really think that is going to make niggas think twice. I don't think anybody's going to test Kendrick or Drake ever again.
Yeah.
I think if you're not Kendrick or Drake level, you will never talk to any of these guys in a way, or it doesn't emit a response.
Yes.
You said you're of the side of believing everything until proven. I'm of the side of, and I think this is one of the first things I told you, I'm of the side of receipts. And that's why I don't want to get too deep into the intricacies of the claims that are going back and forth between these two guys until as we were speaking today of this recording, until we receive receipts on any of these allegations, I don't really want to believe anything on either side yet. So I'm just basing this objectively on just the rapping and the strategy of rap disses.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, because we spoke, was it Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah.
Because the Hard Part 6 hadn't been out when we talked.
We spoke Sunday afternoon.
So the Hard Part 6 hadn't been out yet.
No.
We were probably like right before.
Yeah, something like
like
that.
Sunday
Yeah,
night.
because it was right before.
something like that.
But when we talked, I said something about like, how are we gonna find receipts and prove it?
Yeah.
And the more I think about that, I don't even like. We do want receipts, but like, what do receipts mean in this specific battle? The receipts in this specific battle is like women coming forward with stuff they don't want to come forward with.
Yeah.
And that's a tricky situation for us to be in.
Asking Kendrick's wife or ex or whatever she is to come forward and talk, and this is a woman that we've never heard from ever.
Exactly. And so
So
now you
it's-
come forward for this. So I just want to say, because that's my reasoning for believing everything, because that's the only way to be fair, is to believe everything rather than not believe everything. But I want to ask you about this move, because Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, and that probably fucked up your weekend a little less than the first two.
Yes, because that was Saturday.
In the middle of the day.
Yeah,
So
that was the Saturday.
a little less. But how do you feel about the move of Drake saying, "Oh, I fed you this information on the Heart Part 6"?
How do I feel about the move?
Yeah.
Because
Because
I feel that, yeah, sorry?
I think it didn't land is why I'm asking.
Yeah, so there's three things to it. I feel like it didn't land. I feel like the cause that it didn't land was the delivery of it.
Mhm.
Like I had this big secret plan this entire time when I already, like I was, as I said, I was on Twitter like
Yeah.
crazy. I already seen fans speculate.
Twitter detectives.
Yeah, already
Yeah.
before that. So to me, I felt like the Heart Part 6 was a lot of I'm responding to Twitter questions right now.
Yeah.
I'm responding to Twitter allegations right now and not responding to you directly, Kendrick. So that's what I felt about the Heart Part 6. I also feel like, as calculated as Drake is, and this could change by the time you guys listen to this, but as calculated as Drake is, for you to reveal that you're behind it all, it didn't land for me. Like, I expected something deeper. Like, I expected a documentary or like a track or, like documenting that, yo, I set this mole up for
Prove
you.
it to us.
You know what I mean? Like, to really fuck up Kendrick. You know what I mean? And I'm going from his previous beefs, how he's won those beefs, and just how he delivered that video on Family Matters. I'm expecting like a deeper level, like Family Matters Part 2. I got you, bitch. Like something like that. You know what I'm saying?
And I think he just had 2 fumbles. So I think that's a part of it of like, if he had told, he couldn't tell us beforehand, but like we literally just saw him get his nuke neutralized and then 12 hours later have us crip walking.
It was me the whole time.
The thing, but Not Like Us was before that. So it was like he got neutralized. Then Not Like Us is the biggest hit of this whole battle so far.
Yeah.
Facts.
So it's like Drake is not looking very strategic at that specific moment. So it's like, Drake, we just saw you fumble the bag. And now you're gonna tell us you're the man, like. I think if that part went differently, maybe we're like, okay, because I think Family Matters look like a good move.
Yeah,
I'd love to see the behind the scenes on both sides and really know what's going on, because there's some weird energy with this whole thing, and that's why people are just basing it off of the moves that Kendrick just won, and Kendrick was rapping his ass off, so I'll give him that too. I'll step in on your point. You're gonna say something?
No.
Oh, you're good? Sorry. Yeah, I feel like Kendrick just out-strategized him, hit him with a bop, which a lot of people didn't really expect from Kendrick, me one included. One thing I'll say, man, I really enjoyed having a lot of great conversations with my friends about this, man. Like a lot of long talks about hip-hop, and I don't think hip-hop's been in that place in a very long time. I'm elated, I'm excited, I'm so happy that Kendrick came out with a general consensus dub. At the same time, I'm just happy I got a chance to talk to my friends.
Nah, it was good, man. That was my favorite part too, is like all the speculation we're doing and what's this. And I think what I enjoyed with my friends, I didn't enjoy on the internet, is I have friends who are Drake fans who anytime Kendrick dropped, they're like, I heard that before, I'm not really feeling it. And I'm like, yo, what are you listening to? Like, I know you don't like Kendrick, but like, and I even enjoyed that because I even documented, like, I was more on the Drake side, hometown hero, you gotta rock with.
They're calling you OVO Adriel, man.
100%. And objectively, I'm going off with what's happened. I seen Drake be in mad battles and win. I never seen Kendrick battle. So choosing the team with no playoff experience sometimes goes well.
Fair.
But I'm gonna choose a team that's been in the playoffs before. But objectively, I'm not gonna say, oh, we only lost because this was a win fair and square. And so I kind of even enjoyed people drawing their lines after this win, saying, nah, I still think Drake has the best record. And I think that's what I'm seeing, is that's part of who's on the internet. Like I have friends who they're not even logged into their Instagram in years. They're not on Twitter.
Yeah.
They're just talking to whoever they're talking to, and that's who they decide.
Yeah.
And those people usually are sticking with Drake, because I do think Family Matters is probably the best song out of this whole thing to listen to front to back. So I think people going off the music alone.
Not Like Us?
Not
front
Like Us.
to back?
Not Like Us is a bop, but I could see certain people not rocking with it.
In a balance of good song to good diss, I think Family Matters, but I think from top to bottom, Not Like Us.
Not Like Us is the most bop out of all of them. I like Euphoria is my favorite out of all the Kendrick songs.
Euphoria is good, man.
Euphoria has some staying power.
Yeah.
But I think if you don't like Kendrick in the first place and you're not on the internet, it's like Not Like Us is not going to work for you if you don't like Kendrick.
Okay, so people had the top 3 tracks of this diss track, of this diss battle. I want to ask you guys something different. What are the bottom 3 tracks that came out of this rap beef?
The Hard Part 6.
Yeah.
Tailor Made Freestyle. And 616.
616?
616, yeah. 616. Those 3 are the 3.
Chris, what about you?
Yeah, I probably agree with that. That's probably where I would put it at for the bottom 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Including,
we can take all those out, actually. If you really think about it, This beef take all, but I do.
But 616 was needed for the strategy.
Yeah, for the strategy.
What was the other two you said? You said Taylor Made.
Yeah.
Taylor
And the
Made,
heart.
he fucked up. Honestly, I think he really pissed off Kendrick using Pac's voice.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very creative at the time, so I
Yeah.
respect it. And it was his mini back-to-back.
Yep.
And what was the other one you said?
The
Heart
Heart.
Part 6. All right, so can I take those two tracks really quickly?
Mm-hmm.
The Taylor Made, him ending Taylor Made with nah, you're not gonna back away from this one, nigga. We need you now. You better drop some shit. To him ending Heart Part 6 and I'm chilling, bro.
Yeah,
It's
the
totally
You know what I
please,
mean?
man.
The energy,
please.
I didn't like that contrast.
He
Personally,
can't do that. To me, if I'm being really fair, Drake's not allowed to do that.
No, you can't
You-
throw stones then run in the house.
And it was less than a week later. It's like, come on, bro. You asked for it.
You're not.
Don't be the one to wave the white flag.
Yeah,
you know
you're.
what I mean?
You're not allowed to do that. That's just
No.
against the rules. And I think too, if you look at this battle, 616 was the move that baited Drake into Family Matters that got us Meet the Grams.
But I understand why you put it as a diss track in the bottom three. And I agree with your bottom three. I agree with them.
And I think if you look at this back now, other than the strategic move of 616, those three you could have taken out the beef completely, and the beef probably is mostly the same. Like
Yes.
there's the baiting of Taylor Made, but I think Kendrick would have dropped Euphoria whenever, regardless. It would still have been what it was. I think Family Matters was Drake's nuke he had regardless.
Yeah.
So I think if you even just remove those three from the beef, we got like a little EP and some fire. So
Yo, my friend sent me a Spotify playlist called Drake's Demise.
oh,
And it was just all the
That's
Kendrick
cool.
tracks. I was like, damn, bro, you're going on another level with this shit,
Drake's
bro.
Demise is crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, well, he puffs up his chest as a Drake hater. Like, he doesn't hide
Yeah.
it, so.
That's what I realized from this.
Chris, you good?
I'm all right. No, I was just gonna say the only thing I was gonna say is like, do you think the heart was? Do you think that wasn't planned and he just kind of had to get it off? He just felt the need to get that off for whatever reason. I don't
think
know
so.
why.
I
Because
think
like, why would you plan that?
Okay, so that's going to lead into my next question for you
Yeah.
guys.
Mhm.
How does this beef end? If it's not ended already. Let me ask you guys a better question.
Mm.
Is this beef over?
I'm saying TBD. We're recording this on Tuesday. 12 hours ago, Drake's house took shots.
Yeah.
Security guard above the chest in the hospital. So to me, that is gonna answer if this is done, because I think that with everything else happening, we don't know if it's related, and I think that Kendrick, I don't know if he's gonna assume it's Kendrick. I don't know if that's how far he's gonna take it, but I do think there is some kind of onus on Kendrick to come out and say that wasn't me. Like we still don't fuck with you, but that wasn't me. Because I think if you just do the math of all the stuff being accused of him,
Yeah.
and then like violence on his house.
Yeah. I don't want to be like on some dry snitching level, but like you already know my theory of what the deal is behind the scenes. I personally don't think it's Kendrick, and I'll leave the listeners to have that interpretation.
Do the math
of
on that.
Do you think this beef is ended?
For Drake's side, I hope not.
You'd want Drake to drop again?
Yeah, man. I'd love them to just keep going for a little while. Like, I don't think it's dead yet. That shooting thing, I hope that isn't related. That's just, let's keep that out of here. Like, let's keep it just to the music. I'd love him to come back with something. I think he needs something else to really like hang his hat on if he wants to have a good track, or maybe you do. I don't know. Does he fizzle out and just like try to just drop hits and just kill him that way? Like
maybe.
Like, is that what he's got to do? Because like, how do you come off of the Heart Part 6 and you jump back down? You're like, nope, I'm back on. Like, I'm coming back hard. Like,
I think if anybody's gonna make the next move, is Kendrick.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I think it's gonna be Kendrick, because I think, let's not say, I don't know if he will do this, but I think him not responding to any allegations has basically been working for him. Because people are talking way less about his allegations just from him not responding to it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think either he'll respond to his allegations or to the shooting, but he'll do something to kind of wrap things up. Like, I think he'll be like, this is one more to put you in the dirt, and we're wrapping it up.
I have a theory,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys are hip hop heads. You guys know a lot of people I'm about to say. I think Kendrick's best move right now is not to drop another track, but do a music video for Not Like Us. And then in that music video, if you choose to, you can respond to the allegations. Have a couple West Coast legends in there. You know what I mean? Maybe even have Whitney in there just to show a unified home front. I think that's the best way to like knock this without actually knocking it, without actually like verbally saying it. So that I think would be the best move. Kendrick, maybe you're listening, maybe you're not, but that's me personally. That's my headcanon. You go record Not Like Us in the West Coast. It's already a West Coast banger. You get Whitney, you get like TDE niggas, Day Free, all that. Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
That's how wild the allegations are. I forgot about Day Free. You get Day Free, you get like fucking Schoolboy, the Black Hippie niggas, Punch, Top, and all them in the video, and then boom, nip it in the bud. No new music, so people don't have to keep fucking continuing this beef, but drop a video. Because between the both of them, he's the only one that hasn't dropped any visuals too. So
yeah, and
I think that's a good.
I
move.
like that idea actually, Kendrick. If you're listening, you know, PG Mayor has
PG Lang Mayor, baby.
has some good ideas.
But I do need a percentage if you do that.
100%.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think that there's a part I saw online where I think it was Top commenting like a saying good battle and a white flag emoji.
I saw Punch, Daylight. Yeah.
So I think they're treating this like it's done, but I do think this shooting puts a little bit of a wrench in it because I think even your theory, it's big artists involved across the board, and I think. Young Thug is still in jail almost 3 years later. Like, I don't think this is the 90s where...
It's been 3 years, eh?
Yeah, I don't think a big artist is gonna come out and say, yo, that was me. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I think that this is like... The speculation is gonna only go one way when you're already talking crazy about each other.
Yeah.
So I hope that it ends with Kendrick because I'm worried that Drake is gonna drop again. To be honest with you, because I think that
I don't think that's what he wants, man. Yo, can I be real with you guys? I told my friends this too. I feel like Kendrick. You guys saw the RDC skit where Kendrick's like in a dark room. Yeah. I legit think to some extent that is him. I think personally, I think he broke up with his girl, right? I think he's in Brooklyn right now in a room in his condo, just fucking writing straight venom towards Drake. I don't think Kendrick has felt the touch and embrace of a woman in the last 2 weeks.
2 weeks, 6 weeks.
Yeah, I really feel like he's so locked in. You know when niggas are training for ball and like their hair's growing out, their beard's growing, they don't give a fuck. I think he's just in a room fucking writing right now. So I don't think it's the best move. Like, and the only reason I'm attributing it to that is I do feel like he pre-recorded a lot of these songs, but the one thing that stood out to me was the last verse on Not Like Us when he fucking flipped one of Drake's bars that literally came out 24 hours ago. I'm like, no, this nigga's a sicko and he needs to fucking stay at home and like be around people, bro.
All you do is knuckle push-ups, that's it.
Yeah, he needs to go outside, bro. I really think he's at home right now just fucking locked in, bro. That last verse was crafted so nicely on the flip with the Atlanta colonizer shit. I was like, nah, bro. You need to be outside, bro. It's done, dog. Just let it be, bro.
That's the last thing I'm going to say. I think that strategically, Kendrick showed us something we haven't seen before in hip-hop. It's the greatest rap battle of all time.
The real reason that this might have dropped and ended, I really think UMG stepped in.
And said,
yo, there's serious allegations on a man that we gave $400 million to.
A lie?
This needs to stop now. I really feel like a boardroom gave that call to Drake and said, yo, done. Like, call it a day. It is what it is. Don't tarnish the brand anymore. You're bigger than this. Because, yo, he just signed that deal.
Like, what, 2 years ago? Something like that? Yeah.
That's recently. A long deal. I don't think that's a 3-year deal, bro.
No. I think it's a lifetime.
Yeah. So it's like, you're our cash cow, and we need you to be our cash cow as long as you're a part of this contract. Stop this shit now. And the general public, they're probably looking at the numbers, bro. These guys are all numbers niggas. They're probably like, yo, general public's not rocking with you right now. Dead this shit. Take a break. Come back.
And I think,
what do you guys think about that?
I think there's something to that because I think the popularity of Not Like Us is part of that. Like the allegations are the allegations.
Yeah.
But if you like, for example, if it stayed at Meet the Grams not going number one.
No.
Meet the Grams is not gonna.
Not at all.
There's a lot of people who still haven't heard Meet the Grams for real. Not Like Us is a whole different story. And that whole part where he's like, certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Like that is distinct who that's about, who that is.
Yeah.
The beat is gonna cut out. People are gonna be yelling that.
The
So
OV ho, like that's wild. People are dancing to nah. You can't have niggas dancing to that. If I'm UMG, I'm cutting that shit immediately, bro.
yeah, I think that's a big part of it because I feel like that's something that Drake's gonna have to answer to in his real life. Like I thought about this when the first disc came out about him and his mom and their text exchange.
Yeah.
And obviously, Meet the Grams talks about his mom on there, and I said, think about Drake's mom listening to all these beef records. That's all I think about this whole time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and same with Kendrick's family. It's like if you're family any of these people and you're hearing these beef records, it's like, yeah, you might not believe it or you think it's lies or whatever it is.
It's a lot.
But it's still
It's
slander in the name of
like Sandra
someone
listening
you
to
love.
Meet the Grams. Like I don't want to hear that, yo. Like nah. You're absolutely right. I agree with you, bro.
So I think that's a part of it that I hope it's done, but I think what we've seen from both of these men as the leaders in hip hop is actually embarrassing. And it was in the name of sport and the name of hip hop, but I think just as men, I look at J. Cole's exit way more respectable.
J. Cole took a dub out of all of this for sure.
As an older person too, I'm like, yeah, you don't need that. On
Yeah. This is too much. You don't want to stain on your jacket for absolutely no reason.
And it's the kids that get involved. Like, think about two people who have kids, and y'all hate each other enough to smear the kid's name and
baby
put the
moms
kid
and all that shit.
This
Like I don't want.
Kendrick's kid, whether it's true or not, is gonna hear this track at some point.
This is the story of Adidon. Like,
Drake's kid too. So it's like
it's a lot.
That coming from people who have kids. It's different if one of them didn't have kids. Like they both have kids, and both said, "Nah, I'm cool to do this." That to me is like so much of this beef has been about being good black men and good black fathers.
Yeah,
and that whole thing narrative they put on each other was not example of being a good black father. So,
yo, speaking of a black father, let's not take away the fact that all of this beef took away from the fact that Kyrie sunned Paul George and James Harden
and Russ Westbrook
and Russ. We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
You niggas are lucky.
They got away with it. They got away with it.
You guys got away with it, man. Like a Scooby-Doo villain. You guys hoodwinked us again. You guys hoodwinked us again. We were remembering. We did not forget that you guys lost. You guys had a lot of niggas on payroll saying, I'm the system, I'm this, I'm that. And you let Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving cook your ass, bro. We're on your ass. You guys teamed up. Kawhi, you left. I understand you went home. I get it, bro. I'm not mad at that, bro. But what have you niggas done in the last 5 years?
And it's crazy because we were bigging up the Clippers.
I had them going to the conference finals
a few months ago on this podcast. But I'll tell you what really needs to happen, okay? And I know no one wants to hear it, no one wants to say it, but this is what the Clippers really need to do. They have to blow it up for real, for real. I think Kawhi may be the only one that stays because he just signed his extension. But I think Russ got to go, Harden got to go, and Paul George got to go. Paul George, I think, has to go first. To me, if Paul George stays with the Clippers, that something is wrong.
Yeah.
Something is completely
You're
wrong.
solidifying mediocrity.
Yeah, I think, too, because Paul George is someone who has health issues himself and is the healthiest out of all of the stars.
Yeah.
And so for that to be the case is absolutely crazy to me. So for me, I'm looking at the Clippers this year. Count Norman Powell in that. PJ Tucker. That team. Zubats even. I think that whole team needs to be broken down almost 2012 Maverick style where it's like a whole new team after the fact. And I got some places I want Paul George to go. I've been thinking about this all playoffs. And every game I watch of this team, I just think to myself, oof, what if they had Paul George? And that's the New York Knicks.
Ooh.
Thinking of Paul George in that spot where Julius Randle's supposed to be, I like that a lot.
I didn't think of the Knicks.
So
I thought you were going to say Philly.
No. Another man that's injured, let's leave that alone.
I like the Knicks.
So I've been thinking about that a lot. If they could somehow get Julius Randle for Paul George, I like that a lot. And then my second team, which I think these are both possible. My second team, he would still be in the number 2 spot, but have talent around him, is New Orleans Pelicans. I think Brandon Ingram is not really it for them. I think that he can't really hang in that spot. So either Ingram or CJ McCollum, take one of them out and bring in Paul George.
PG to be your main leader on the run, though?
PG, Zion, Trey Murphy. I like
That'd be
that.
a fun 30 games to watch them for the season.
I'm screaming.
That'll be a fun 30 games. I can't lie.
Yeah, so I think those are the two places I want to see Paul George. I think James Harden, I don't even know where I want to see him.
I'm
but,
fucking with your Knicks take. I like
Yeah.
Paul George on the Knicks. Yeah. Get it done. Worldwide West.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. So the WNBA preseason started.
Yup.
And I know we're going to be on a little bit of a Caitlin Clark bandwagon.
Mhm.
But I wanted to ask you guys, like, are there any teams that you guys are interested in watching this year? Because I've been more tuned in now. This honestly is the first time in my life that I tapped in on the WNBA scoreboard, like looking at the box scores.
Yeah.
The first time in my life, I'm like, yo, the Chicago Sky are playing, yo. Let me see what Angel Reese is doing. I've never done that in my life, bro.
I
They're getting
think
a lot of hype around them.
I think this is the first time I'm tapped in on the preseason. I think
Yeah.
I've always kind of kept up and like try and tap in, especially when I was at the company before we would have WNBA games. But I think now is when I'm like, okay, I'm following them on social more than ever. I just follow the Aces on Instagram. Diana Taurasi, that's my GOAT. Been following her. Kelsey Plum. She done some stuff on Twitter that I didn't like, but
What'd she do?
it was kind of corny. It's not canceled or anything, but she was doing this thing where she was eating popcorn. She thought it was funny, and it really wasn't. It was
Okay.
it was just so annoying. Like, you ever see the caption of it was someone told her she was funny and she never let it die.
You know what, Adriel? She's single, you're single. Maybe
She's not. She's married.
No, they broke up.
You're tapped in. My bad.
Live reaction.
Before she did that, I would have been with you, but that popcorn thing.
Wasn't it for you?
Anyone who see that knows what I'm talking about. Like it's like when you see that clip, you're like, I know what kind of woman that you are.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
rock with that.
Aces is my team. That's something. Aces are my team.
Chris, you gonna tap into the WNBA this year?
Yo,
At least a couple games?
Yo, I probably will because I need something else to gamble on in the summer. So I was
Oh my
thinking, that
God,
might
yeah.
be the move, man. I know I gotta pick a team. Maybe the LA Sparks. Maybe I'll hop on that wagon. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll
So
see, 'cause
you're
they got-
solely gonna watch because you need some summertime gambling. You have the Olympics.
Yeah, can you? I've never really.
Can you bet on the
I never bet
Olympics?
on the Olympics.
I think you
before.
can.
You must be able to.
Yeah, I think you can.
And I'm
That's
not much of a
interesting.
baseball guy. Like I'm trying to get into baseball, but it's not really.
We should watch a game together, actually.
Like,
The
You don't
NBA
think it, bro?
game?
No. Well, if they
Like-
have a Toronto
like a
game,
Jays
yeah, for
game?
sure.
Or
But
a
a
Jays
Jays
game?
game.
we should
yeah.
go to a
Yeah.
Jays game.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it. I'm down.
I'm
Yeah.
down. I'm down.
I'm
Yeah.
down. I'm down. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm excited about the WNBA season because I feel like just the whole league is centered around Caitlin Clark in a way that's unnatural, but the league itself has so many good teams and good players
Yes.
that I think that it's a perfect kind of net to catch people. Because I think some people will come in for Caitlin Clark. They'll watch Caitlin Clark. They'll watch Indiana Fever, even though they're not a great team. They'll be like, okay, what's all this about? And they'll end up seeing a team like the Aces that has so many stars on there, or seeing someone like Aja Wilson.
Yeah.
So I think they're set up. Let's say we are set up for a great season in the W because there's just so much talent, and Caitlin Clark is just really dragging everybody in.
People are complaining that Asia Wilson hasn't gotten a shoe, but Caitlyn got a shoe. How do you feel about that?
I think that's true. I saw this clip today of someone talking about Paige Buchers and how she has such a good self-awareness of her privilege as a white woman in basketball. And I think that's a big part of it. Like, I don't understand how Asia doesn't have a shoe. Like, I thought that was a Twitter joke at first, to be honest with you. If anyone sees Asia on social media, like, she's a fun personality, a fun player to watch. So her not having a shoe doesn't even make sense to
So
me.
it's not you comparing Caitlyn's impact financially to Asia's impact. You're just saying like Asia does deserve a shoe because she does have an impact. So you're not putting them up against each other. You're just saying that she deserves a shoe.
As good as a player. It's like Jokic doesn't have a shoe. But
He does.
But since when?
Yeah, I think it's time with Jordan. It's called the Jokers.
Is it like a real shoe, or is it like how
He's a
Blake
big
Griffin?
man. I'm not even looking at it, bro.
Anyways, Joker is not the most exciting player, not the most popular player. So him having some Team Jordans, like the old CP3s,
Yeah.
different than having a signature shoe.
Okay.
I think that Asia Wilson, how good she's been for as long as she has been, it's kind of inexcusable because the best players in the sport usually have signature products. So I'm just going off of how good she is. If she was just like popular online, but a bench player, different story. But Asia Wilson is like as good as it gets. So I feel like at that level, you should have a shoe, especially the personality she has on top of it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, big team Asia over here.
Shout out to you. Are you going to get a Asia Wilson shoe for your hidden 11-year-old daughter?
I don't know what.
That's what the mole told me, bro.
That's what they told you.
Every Drake fan has hidden kids.
Oh man,
That's what the mole told me, bro. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. You, Chris, I'm gonna be real with you, man.
oh no.
Not about the 11-year-old
Oh
daughter.
no,
I
it's
appreciate
crazy.
that. I
Well,
got no
I'm gonna be
kids.
dead ass. I'm gonna be serious with you. I gave you an ISO last episode, and I want to give you an ISO today. It was tough. The Leafs bounced back in the series. They pushed the Bruins to 7. We've been here before, and we've been in the same outcome. The Leafs ultimately lost. Their season is done. I know you are a resident Leaf correspondent, and I need you to tell me, 1, how you felt about the Game 7, and 2, where the Leafs go from here.
Well, it's a tough one. It was a tough one. It was a tough Game 7, man.
You see how he switched the screen? He's like,
Yeah, cathartic.
No, I didn't even want to today, man. I've been just taking my lumps on Twitter for the last like 2 days. No, it was a tough. You know what? It was good. There was a lot of good things I think you could take out the last couple games for the Leafs. They were playing really good, shutdown defense, playoff style hockey, tight games, tight scoring. I mean, they also couldn't score enough goals, which is also the problem, especially when they're a team in the regular season that'll just light it up. You know. I think they showed a lot of heart coming back, but once again, the same issue. Some of our big players that we pay a lot of money to don't show up in those key moments, don't show up in those key games.
Names.
Yo, Mitch Marner, he's catching a lot of heat right now. I think some of it's a little too much. Like, you know, I only have so much patience for like the armchair expert who's like in the middle of nowhere just telling us how Mitch Marner is a terrible hockey player, but this guy, you know, couldn't even carry his jock strap, you know.
Small town Saskatchewan going crazy.
Dude, exactly. And but rightfully so, when you're paying someone this much money and he's one of your top, and then the last time when they had the contract renegotiation, you know, he held the team and was real stringent on getting his money, got his bag. He's gonna ideally be realistically, he's in his prime, he's gonna want that again. He's got 1 year left in his contract. We have 5 players right now it's like $56 million, which is over half of our cap. 5 players is half the cap.
I think we got to trade him.
I think you got to trade him. You need some more parts to go. I think Tree Living did a great job this year coming in, bringing in some extra pieces, giving them a different look. They were tougher. They were playing for each other. There was a different culture in the room. Like you could feel it. Just like, no, you disagree?
I think you're right technically, but I think if the proof is in the pudding, then what did we really do? Like it's like that energy was there. You're right, because I felt it especially in Game 5 and 6. But I think if the results are the same, it's kind of like the Raptors. The Raptors when they would continue to have
like
the best
pre-Kawhi,
best record in the league, great defense in the season, great offense in the season, and it's like, why do we have this great offensive defense during the season, but we still can't beat the Brooklyn Nets? And so that's like, you're right. I believe you in terms of the energy was there, but if the results are the same, it's wrong of us to even gas it like that.
Yo, to a point, yeah, you're right. And I think we are at that point where when they traded DeMar and they picked up Kawhi, we might be at a similar situation where the Leafs need to make that call.
like
right?
one piece away type
One
of thing?
piece where you're going to have to trade. Like at the time, everyone loved DeMar. They loved them playing together. It was fun to watch. Like they're a real competitive team, but they couldn't get that next step. And they tried to. They played better defensively. We need to bring in we need to bring in some right shot D because we have left guys playing on the right side. We need some big, nasty defensemen back there. And I think your only way you're going to do it is you're going to free up some money by removing one of the contracts. You can't get rid of Tavares because he's got 1 year left and he's way too old. No one's going to want to take on that onto their cap.
I think
that's the other problem too is with the
sacrifice.
NHL is there's the cap, right? So there's no luxury tax. There's no nothing. Like you're tied into the cap. There's how much you can spend. So they invested all this money into the core 4, core 5. You want to include Riley, and it's just not working.
Okay, here's my last question. Okay, go ahead.
I think they need to get rid of Keefe. You know, he's done his job. He was great in the regular season, But all through the playoffs, year after year, he gets outcoached.
Actually, fair.
He gets outcoached every time.
I'll agree with you on that. My question is, isn't Matthews supposed to be our Kawhi? That's how I'm looking at it. Matthews is supposed to be our Kawhi.
Top 5 player.
Yeah. So
True.
if we're trading Marner for another player as good as Marner at least, or in that ballpark, what are we like? We're looking for toughness, of course, but what's missing us already having that? Because we have that top 10, top 5 player already, who's a certified goal scorer.
Yeah.
So what is missing from what he's doing? Because do you think he's actually playing up to what he could be? Because that's my thing. I feel like he's good, but he's not like top 5 player in the playoffs.
Not right now.
Basically ever.
No, not right now. I think he could be. I think he has it there. He also was hurt. He was playing hurt in game 2. We saw the hit that Coyle did. That should have been a penalty. Pulls him down from behind, hard on his leg, ends up finishing it up and scores the game-winning goal. Beautiful goal. That was the last one, which I was getting hyped off in the last podcast. But I don't think Matthews is the problem. I think, and he was sick and injured. He missed the last game 5 and 6. Came in hurt. Game 7 still rough.
I'm about to be anti.
Yo, how?
You know what? Because you know what I think it is? I think it's a mentality. And I said to you before, I thought Tavares would be like the proper veteran to make us a little tougher, have us be more poised. But this was his experience, but that never happened. And I compare it to, obviously Matthews is a much better player than this guy. I compare it to Kyle Lowry. And when Kyle Lowry became our 3rd scorer on the team, that's when we really took off. And when it wasn't like Kyle Lowry has to do everything for us. He still was the point guard, still was in charge, but it wasn't like we live and die by Kyle Lowry. Like if Kyle Lowry has 0 points, we ain't winning. Once those days were done, and that's what I feel about Matthews is like, we kind of can't win without him for real.
Well, we won game 5 and 6. Well, he was like he was scratched.
And think of how surprised we both were and how excited we both were. I think we need some kind of player who can perform, that if Matthews is like off that night, we're not all of a sudden terrified. How are we going to win? Because I think in 5 and 6 we won, but as Leafs fans, you tell me, I don't think we were confident. I think we were just like, let's hope.
Yeah.
But I would love to be confident of like, okay, Matthews not playing well, but we still have.
Yeah. I think game 5 and 6, we were worried just based on how they've gone, their performance and how they show up, especially when they had to win and then come back to game 6 at home, and they lost the last 6 home games in the playoffs at home because they get whatever it is, the crowd, they get nervous. I don't know what it is.
Like
but
buttholes.
Yeah, bro. But I think they need those guys that can, in the playoffs, are going to give it that extra gear. Like I could show you a number of plays that we're looking at, and you just see like guys like Marner, flat-footed, just not skating, not picking up the man.
It's
and
crazy.
Like, there's playoff.
I'm
it's
done.
the playoffs. You need that extra gear to just keep going. And it's just like sometimes it feels like they just don't have it in them. I'm gonna let Matthews off with the fact that he was injured. Game 7 too, and he was sick too. Game 7, Wall, who was lights out. Game 5 and 6, he was like, buddy, we were singing, what was it called? It was the Oasis song, Wonderwall, but they were singing about Joseph Wall.
Wow.
It was, dude, I was feeling it.
That's good.
And Chuck on TNT went on, he gave us the that the Leafs will win. They won game 6. But
guarantee.
Guarantee, baby.
Ralph, see, you know how crazy this sounds?
I just so happy, bro. I'm so happy Chris got that.
Got it
release.
off? Got
Yeah,
it off?
I don't feel happy. I feel worse.
I think Toronto nightlife has softened up these Leafs.
Yo, you might be right.
I know.
Really?
I really think so.
I don't know the correlation.
Because
I don't follow enough hockey.
You don't know the nightlife in
yeah,
Toronto?
because
no, I know.
but
I don't know the correlation with the Leafs. Like
Nightlife
they're in
and
the
the day
streets
life.
like that.
they're outside.
Yeah.
And
They're Harbor 60.
yeah, they're outside. And I think when I was, how can I say this? When I was with a different crowd, I heard enough Leaf stories of them getting down, being outside, being with the
What crowd are you with now?
No crowds. No crowds.
Yeah.
Them being out with other Toronto celebrities in the clubs, whatever. And I think that being a Toronto celebrity as a hockey player is different than it was 20 years ago. I don't think McGillney and Gary Roberts were, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think now these kids are in their 20s, like, dating a hot new influencer.
Different bags, too.
Like, I can't tell you how many girls I know who have told me that X player has offered them a drink.
Yeah.
Or they've seen X
Leafs,
player
Raptors,
in the
Yeah,
club with Shawn
dude.
Mendes.
Bro, there was Toronto FC players that were going crazy one time pre-pandemic in the club, and I was like, "Yo, you got it, bro."
FC. No, that's my point. Is like for the Leafs,
Yeah,
I think it's an even larger thing because we're still a hockey city. That's what it is. The Leafs are large, but I think that there's like a more of a lore because think if you're like a young woman in the club and you see X player. This is X player who your dad is a fan of,
Yeah.
who your brother is a fan of.
yeah.
Like
It's a different level of
so
clout.
that aura they have is like I'm seeing from them for the first time with no helmet. I only know them because someone elbowed me and said that's so and so, and so I think these guys are living a whole different life where it's almost a soft life as a pro athlete. So maybe as a part of it, I'm just speculating. But maybe that's part of it because to me, I think that the nightlife in Toronto comes in many great flavors and it's not made for everybody.
You needed that, bro. You gotta. I
man.
know you're not happier after doing it, but I'm happier after hearing it, bro.
Okay.
Gotta
Just get it off your chest sometimes, bro.
Release.
Yeah,
you
maybe.
know?
Release sometimes.
Yeah, or you know what? Cut this whole section out just to leave it.
We're gonna leave most of it.
man.
You're good. You're good. So you mentioned the Toronto nightlife.
Yeah.
That brought back some memories of my younger days.
How much younger?
We'll say about 6 to 7 years ago.
How about 7 months? 7 months ago.
We'll say 6 to 7 years
Late
ago.
November 2023.
You know when a young Ralph was running around frolicking. That Ralph is this Ralph, and this Ralph is not so young anymore. So I got a question for you guys. At our big age, what time are you guys leaving the function?
Ooh, I'm notorious for making the Irish exit super early. So I got two answers for you. If I'm by myself, 12:30, I'm in my car. If I'm by myself, by 12:30, I'm in my car. If I'm with other people, 1 o'clock, I'll do a temperature check. So if I'm with other people, y'all get an extra half hour. 1 o'clock, I'm like, yo, Ralph, how you feeling? You trying to leave soon?
You put the feelers out.
Yeah. And two, I understand how you can kind of peer pressure people into leaving because it's like if Ralph thinks I want to leave, then Ralph is gonna be like, if you want to leave, I'll leave.
You implant that thought in their head.
So I'll be the first person to say like, yo, you guys trying to leave soon? And even at our big age, it's almost like socially unacceptable to be like, nah, I still got more fun to have.
Yeah.
So that's one of the best moves is around 1 o'clock. Chris, you feel like you're ready to leave soon?
I would say, yeah, if I'm at a party and I'm having a good vibe, if it's just me and a couple people, I'm doing the 1:30. Then I start getting that thing in my neck, like, it's time to go. Like, let's figure this out. The back starts stiffening up a little bit. Your legs get a little tireder, a little earlier, a little more tired. So yeah, I'm saying 1:30. If I'm at a club, 1 o'clock. Trying to be out, bro. I'm a notorious sleeper on the Uber home.
Oh, you're
and I
one of
need
those.
to I need to stop doing that
Yeah.
personally, because like a lot of my friends will make fun of me. They'll be like, "Yo, Ralph, you're good the whole night. Like I don't get drunk, I don't act crazy or anything, but as soon as I get in that Uber, I'm dead sleeping, and I don't want to be sleeping in strangers' cars anymore."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need to leave.
That's a crazy sentence.
Yeah.
That's male privilege.
Yeah, that is male
That
privilege.
is male
To
privilege.
fall asleep in mad
yeah.
Ubers,
This
like
guy slept like a baby.
I always find, I don't know, internally, I always find a way to just wake up when I'm like close to my house.
yeah.
But yeah, maybe that's not the case for a lot of people. Regardless, I need to be in that Uber by like 1 o'clock when it's not too late. I don't want to be in the Uber at like 3, 4 a.m. Those days are way past me. I'm not trying to be home at like 4 or 5 in the morning. I don't. That's the killer.
You're on the nose with that one, Chris. What about you?
Yo, I'm similar. Nowadays, like, it depends. Like, if I'm in Toronto, I'm at a club or I'm at a bar, I'm at a function, like, outside of this, because I'm a Durham boy, right? So I gotta get home. So if I'm taking the GO train, I gotta check the schedule, right?
Yeah.
We're on time limits. Or, we'll do the Uber. But, yeah, I'm probably the same. If we're local, I'm at, like, a buddy's house or, like, we're hanging out, like, getting into some shenanigans. Like, I'll push it later. I'll kind of go with the flow of the show. But if I'm by myself and I'm, like, at a function where, like, I'm like got invited or I'm probably trying to sneak out casually at Irish goodbye, and get out of there. I'm not gonna be
Like
there too late.
12:31, you're saying?
12:31, yeah, 12:31. I mean, it depends on when it starts. I love now that I'm older. I like a good function that starts at like 4 p.m. Maybe like a 3 p.m.
I'm for the day
You know?
parties, man.
Yeah.
Oh, barbecue.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
dude.
I'm big on the day parties now.
Yeah.
Like I have more fun
Yeah.
at the day parties because I know I can get home at a nice time,
Yeah.
relax, brush my teeth, take a shower.
Mm.
Oh.
Like I'm done with the coming home drunk at 4 a.m. and just knocking out on the couch and my dog looking at me funny. I'm done with that. I'm past that.
Yeah, you mentioned that and the 4 or 5 a.m. The going to bed when like the sun is coming up.
The worst feeling.
Bro.
I hate that.
Your next day's fucked.
And then on top of it, now I have my travel home like top of mind. So if it gets to like 12:31, depending on where I'm at, I'm like, okay, I gotta drop Ralph home. I gotta drop so and so home. So okay, we gotta go. Like, you know, so I'm
Yeah.
doing
That helps you guys because
Yeah.
you guys are gonna party in the city,
Mm.
but you're still conscious enough to I gotta take a 30-minute drive to get back home, right?
Yeah.
So I understand that. I respect that.
Yeah.
I actually stayed out when I was out on the weekend. I stayed out till 2.
Breaking news, Adriel on the streets. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's hear
it wasn't like that. I was sipping my tea. I was
I
pretty
did see
calm.
that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But I stayed till 2. I'm a music person. Like if the music is good, whether I'm
Yeah.
whatever I'm there for, if the music is good, I'll just stay till the music is not good. So if someone's playing like good tracks and I know the songs or I don't know the songs, whatever it is, I'll stay just until the songs get bad. So it's like, okay, all right, you have a couple of bad mixes in a row, my time to leave. But if the songs are good, then you can keep me for
A couple bad mix. You give the DJ some grace. I like that.
Yeah. No.
because you have good song selection, but a bad mix.
True.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm a sucker for a good mix.
Yeah.
All you DJs out there, you guys got a good mix. I think that carries more than your selection.
Yeah, good music will definitely keep me in the building longer. You know what? The one thing is about going home late is for me, being a married guy, is I wanna get home before I get that message from my wife where she's like, "Where are you?" Because getting those at like 4 a.m. is always just like I barely see my phone. I'm like, I'm just down the street at Mike's house, and it's like, you know, I just don't want those texts anymore.
Yeah,
know?
so you want to get home. What time do those texts usually come through, or is it depending on what it is?
It kind of depends. Like she'll know who I'm going out with based on like, all right, this is what it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So like, nah, usually around like 4 after 4 p.m. at 4 a.m.
I mean, that's a fair time to text your husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah,
it's
4
after 4. I thought you were
a.m.?
gonna say like the 1:30.
2,
No,
yeah.
no, she knows,
4
like,
is like
Two's fine. Last call, she knows. But like once it hits like 3, she's probably still sleeping. But she usually wakes up probably around 4. So she's like, "Why are you not here?"
I got a question for you. Do you just do the sneak back into bed?
No, honestly, it kind of depends on how fucked up I am. Because like if
Or
I'm
do you
too
sleep on the couch?
I'll probably try to sneak in. It usually depends on like how mucked I am.
Yeah.
Then sometimes I'll just like sleep on the couch for a while and like mosey up later. It kind of
yeah.
depends on the vibe, you know. But you know, we'll see.
Because if you're too fucked, it's like you're not gonna come into bed smooth. You
Nah,
know?
bro.
Yeah.
And like
It's
I don't
like,
want to
it's
be.
like you're gonna wake shorty up.
Yeah.
We're at the later parts of the pod, the after hours part of the pod. So I can admit this. So like I'm usually the if I'm fucked up
Yeah.
and Shorty's been home, whatever she's sleeping, I'm probably just gonna take the couch.
Mhm.
I always get that look in the morning, like, yo, nigga, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? If I'm back at like 1 o'clock, 1:30 with a couple drinks in me.
Oh, yeah.
that's a different game. Yo, I hear you, bro.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a little more than try to snuggle. I'm gonna try to wake you up. So yeah.
100%.
Was that J. Cole track Stick? Yeah, that's me, yo. So
No, 100%. That's like prime time where you're like, okay, I came home with enough time. I got like 30 minutes left to be like,
yeah,
Still
yeah,
feeling
that's-
good. Got
that's
that
exercising.
energy.
Yeah. Turn over.
That
Or
is
don't.
so funny. Or don't is crazy.
Got that.
Yeah, if you made it this far in the pod, we love you for it.
Man.
One last thing about going out though, I ordered tea at the bar on Saturday. I got 2 teas. I don't really drink, y'all know, so it's like I could sip water forever, but I was like, let me see if they have a tea, suckle my stomach, you know, stay calm.
This is a club?
Yeah, it was a bar,
That's crazy.
and I got a green tea
In a mug?
in a mug,
What the fuck?
and I could tell you, like, people were looking at me like, You know, it started some conversations. So I'll say that, like, definitely some woman came to me and talked to me. I think the tea kind of like
So you were just holding the mug, like you were standing up straight with the mug.
like dancing with the mug in
You
my
were
hand.
vibing with the mug of hot tea.
Vibing with the mug and the tea.
Oh my god!
And
this is my brethren, bro.
earlier in the
Guy's
night,
got bottle service. It's a kettle.
literally, earlier in the night, I went out for a smoke, and I was smoking with the tea in my hand.
Oh man!
And I could just feel the eyes on me, like, yo, this nigga is vibing more than me right now.
Yeah.
He's in a way better headspace.
Yeah. So no, I think I'm gonna order the tea again in certain situations if I can, because I was iffy at first because we got there a little early, so it wasn't really popping yet when I had my first tea.
Yeah.
And then by the time I had my second tea, it was more.
So you weren't worried about the tea spilling on somebody?
I pull up right beside a table.
Oh, you're by a table.
But when I'm holding it in my hand, it's like, bro, I got the off arm Jalen Brunson style. Like, I'm not worried about. Yeah, like
I'm always worried about people bumping me. I've always like had a little bit of my drink spill, but the tea, I'll be extra nervous.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna bump me, you gotta be sure about it. You know, like that's a.
This
So-
guy. That's a clip right there.
Yeah. So no, the tea was blessed. I think it's something I'm gonna be. The only thing is, I thought about like day parties. I don't know, because tea in the sun and the day parties a little.
Yo, if you pull up with me at a day party and you're drinking tea, man, I don't know.
When the sun goes down though, like I'll have my water during the day,
Yeah.
and then once the sun goes down,
Yeah.
run to the bar. Yo, can I get a green tea?
I'm surprised they sold you a tea, man.
Yeah.
They weren't sure, to be fair.
Did they charge gratuity on the tea?
No, they didn't charge gratuity on the tea. But they weren't sure. They were kind of like, maybe we have tea, but one of the drinks has green tea in it.
Oh, so
So-
they just hot water, boom, boom, done. I'm surprised they had mugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. So
Shout out to you. You guys listen to that, bro. This man, Adriel, put us on game. Instead of getting liquor, instead of getting fucked up, maybe drink a tea. Or maybe before you go home,
Mhm.
you have the tea.
Mm.
So when you get back home to the wife,
Mhm.
you're not as fucked up.
Oh, like at the end of the night, like you had a couple drinks, now time to get a tea,
Yeah.
or you could just get a tea the whole time. Listen, you don't have to get fucked up. Like,
You don't have to drink to have fun.
look at me.
I don't know what that's like.
Oh, man. We got an anime suggestion.
Yo.
We got an anime suggestion. I've been watching a new anime for all the people. It's called Kaiju number 8. So you guys know what kaiju are? They're like Godzilla, like monsters. Like in Japanese culture, that's what they'll call like a fictional monster, like a kaiju. So in this world, in Kaiju number 8, there are multiple monsters running around and there's cleanup crews and stuff. So the main character accidentally ingested a piece of a kaiju and he became part kaiju.
Mhm.
So now he fights the kaiju
Okay.
for the side of the humans. So he joins an organization and stuff.
Switch sides.
Because he made a promise to a childhood friend. But the animation's good. It just started. So between that and Go-Go Loser Ranger, those are like my current animes that I'm really on right now. So you guys check that out. It's called Kaiju number 8.
I'm behind on one of your suggestions, X-Men 97.
Please, no. Oh my God. Guys. Mark my words when I say that. Yo, put the camera on me. ISO this.
There
You
we go.
guys, I watch a lot of cartoons. I watch a lot of anime. X-Men 97 is arguably the greatest season of animation I've ever watched in my life. If you guys don't have Disney Plus, get Disney Plus. They're not even sponsoring this podcast. X-Men 97 is ridiculous from top to bottom. Please watch it. Not even just for the nostalgia. Just watch it. Just watch it. It's just class. It's just good. Top down. The characters, the artwork, the storyboards, the dialogue, everything's perfect. X-Men 97. Please go watch that.
So that's been in my list since you brought it up.
Yeah.
And every time I open Disney Plus, I see
The thumbnail.
Yeah, and I'm like, I want to sit and start it when I can watch like 3 episodes in a row. So you know when you're kind of watching like the background stuff, like for me right now, that's My Wife and Kids, or New Girl. You know,
Everybody has those comedies.
I can't
Brooklyn
sit.
Nine-Nine.
Yeah. So that's something now that I remembered again. I'm gonna sit and give that the proper
Do
time.
you have Disney Plus?
Super have Disney Plus.
Perfect. You're good.
Yeah,
You're good.
It's a joint account with your girl Bridget, so you know we're plugged in.
Shout out to Bridget, man. Barbecue on the way.
Big shout out Bridget. But yeah. X-Men 97. I'm gonna come back with a review, and I'll
Let me know what you think.
But I do believe you because your sessions have always been good before. And after you put me on, a bunch of people I know some people who are Marvel heads and people who are anime heads
Yeah.
have both been raving about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I grew up on the original X-Men, so
Mhm.
to see them remaster it and continue the story is just like, and the way they did it, it's one of the best things that Marvel's come out with in the last 30 years.
Wow.
And I'm 31.
Wow.
So there you go. That's my anime suggestion of the week. Let's get into our non-rap suggestion. How you feel about that, Adriel Smiley official?
I do have a suggestion for you guys. Now, it's been an interesting past 2 weeks of music because
To say the least.
it's been Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah.
And basically any other genre of music or thing that you've been listening to has been put to the side. This song, I feel like I must have put this band in our non-rap suggestion before, but they're out of Montreal. One of my favorite bands. Oh, I think I must have. Maybe it was Show Me, but Tree Among Shrubs from Men I Trust. They put out this project called the Untourable album during the pandemic for obvious reasons. But it's a not hip hop, but like a R&B jazzy sound. But it's like jazz if you just turned up all the bass instruments. So very groovy. If you like Bad Bad Not Good, then Men I Trust is right in that lane for you.
I'm very upset. Just because as soon as I open my phone, the first thing I see is UMG allegedly told Kendrick The Weeknd to stop beefing with Drake because it's costing UMG, Nike, and other parties a lot of money. So I guess my theory was right.
There you go.
live
yeah.
update.
There you go.
So, but it is a rumor. But even if it wasn't a rumor, like it would never come to light. But yeah, my non-rap suggestion is a song that's been going around in circles a lot. I think it's combating for a #1 record, which I'm really happy to see. But it's $1 Million Baby by Tommy Richmond.
Hey.
Yeah.
I got the track off of TikTok. I started seeing people dance to it and vibe to it, and then I was like, "Yo, what is this? What is this?" Then I listened to the song just by itself, and yeah, it's a vibe. It's a real good vibe. I posted it on my page, so yeah, you guys get a chance to listen to that. Shout out to Tommy Richmond, man.
Big shout out to the Tommy team. That's actually how I saw Brent Fayez. So big shout out to Tommy. Yeah, his team was talking to me about an interview. Didn't end up working out, but big shout out to Tommy. I'm happy for him to see him, get his big
Where's
shot
he
right
from?
now. I don't know where he's from.
Interesting. Okay.
But big track right now, for
Big
sure.
track.
Huge.
Yeah.
I haven't got a chance to go deeper in his catalog, but I will.
Now he has some heat.
Nice. How you feeling, Chris?
Bro, that was actually gonna be the one. I was actually gonna pick that when I saw.
I beat you to
You
it.
beat me to it, bro. No, that was hard. I've been bumping that all weekend. Yeah, bro. I've been thinking. Yeah, I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of rap lately, but yeah. So my non-rap suggestion of the week: "Big River" by Johnny Cash. Just classic Johnny Cash track. Since Ralph took mine, I had to pick a new one, but still good.
Yeah.
My bad, cuh.
Nah, you got good taste.
I am a Kendrick fan.
Hey.
Chris, do you have a creator showcase this week? Because you did so masterfully last week.
Do I need to redo that one?
No, you're good.
Oh, you want another one?
Oh, I put it in the notes, but if you don't have
I
one,
thought
it's
that was
okay.
left
We can
over.
skip it.
I can give you one. Like I could shout out another podcast that I like that we do here, or no?
Nah, fuck them niggas.
Yeah.
Fuck that. All right. I got nothing off.
All right.
Do you have a creator showcase or you're good?
Nah, we're the creator showcase this week.
Oh.
Man's Office Podcast.
Yeah.
Come on. Shout out to episode 54. Shout out to Kendrick. Shout out to the mayor. Shout out to PG Mayor. Shout out to Ovio Edwards. This is a creator showcase. This is a great podcast. Tune in every week. You already know what it is.
They not like us.
Yeah, next week, catch us fucking crip walking in the middle of the set.
Oh shit, man. Yo, shout outs to all you guys, all you listeners, man. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate the fact that you listened to another episode of the Mayor's Office Podcast. By the time you guys listen to the next episode, our announcement's coming. Something big that we have planned. We appreciate all you guys. Shout outs to everybody except for Paul George and James Harden and Russell Westbrook and Doc Rivers and Joel Embiid, all you niggas that have been taking L's in the playoffs and we expected more. Kevin Durant, Booker, all you niggas, Frank Vogel, you're about to get fired. All you Darvin Ham,
Mitch Marner.
Mitch Marner. This is the wildest ending that we've ever had to the podcast, but we appreciate you guys.
Love you guys, man.
What's your last sentence? Say it quick for the people.
Canceling. Bring back bullying. Know yourself. Know your worth.
That was a funny one. That's a nice part, bro.